Hi everyone, today we will be learning about reproduction in lower and higher plants again. But in this video, we will be learning about the sexual reproduction, the parts of a flower, the anther, the microspore, and the development of a male gametophyte. So essentially the male reproductive part of the flower. Sexual reproduction in flowering plants involves fusion of two compatible gametes. Your gametes are the male gamete, which are your microspores in plants, and the female gametes, which are your megaspores, and they give rise to a zygote. Zygote is a unicellular structure which is formed by the fusion of a male and a female gamete. Embryo is the multicellular structure which further forms to give rise to a whole plant. It actually occurs in mature plants who have completed their juvenile or vegetative phases. This is because during their juvenile or vegetative phases, as we do, they develop their nutritional reserves so that they can bear a fruit or many fruits and give rise to new plants. Why is it evolutionarily significant? Because it involves meiosis. Meiosis involves crossing over, which leads to the formation of unique genetic makeup. So there is high amount of variation. जितना ज़्यादा variation होगा उतना ही you will have natural selection and this will lead to evolution. Now in angiosperms you have flowers which form the sexual reproductive part of it. These are the parts of a typical flower. Your petals are known as corolla. The parts below the whorl, so each of these is known as a whorl. So the lowermost whorl forms the sepals, which are known as your calyx. They are green in color and they perform photosynthesis when the flower is in the bud condition. Later on, further on, we have petals which are known as corolla. Inner to that, we have the male reproductive whorl known as the androecium. And inner to that, we have the gynoecium. This is a complete flower because it has both male as well as female whorls present in it. Now, we will learn about the male reproductive whorl, which is the androecium. Now, this whole unit is known as an androecium, whereas each of these structures is known as a stamen. Now in this stamen, if you see, this part is known as the anther. We have a connective where the anther meets the filament. So this part is known as the filament, this part is known as the connective, and this part is known as the anther. Now, anther in the immature stages, like in the juvenile stages, it consists of a lot of parenchymatous tissue. Now, anther in its immature stages consists of a lot of parenchymatous tissue which provides nutrition, and this outer layer is known as the epidermal layer. As you can see, the anther is made up of two lobes. One of them is this and the other one is this. Therefore, it is known as dithecous, which means it has two lobes. Further on, each of these small pink units you see are known as pollen sacs or microsporangia, the ones which bear microspores, जिसमें microspores होते हैं. So, if you see, each lobe, that is this unit, has 1 and 2 microsporangia. And overall, we have 1, 2, 3 and 4, which means we have 4 microsporangia and hence it is called as tetra, which means 4 sporangiate, which means it has 4 regions where sporogenous tissue is present. Now, when the anther is maturing, there are some hypodermal cells which transform into archisporial cells. These help in forming your microspore mother cells. This is a mature anther, and in this you can see that the pollen grains have formed and we have an epidermis, which is of course protective in function. Then we have an endothelial layer. These endothelial cells consist of cellulose in their cell walls. Now, when it has lots of cellulose in the cell walls, it is not very evenly spread out. Hence, the endothelial cells show uneven cellulose thickenings. And when you have dehiscence, dehiscence is essentially the bursting open of a anther to let the microspores out. So when you have dehiscence going on, the endothelial lining is where the anther will burst open and it will leave out all the microspores. So this is the space the microspores or the pollen grains will fall out of. The middle layers, these cells in the surrounding or just below the endothelial cells are known as middle layer cells. These middle layer cells are parenchymatous in nature and they surround the pollen sac. So they are all around, and we can say in a way कि जो pollen sacs है, they are embedded in the middle layers. And now if you see in this dehiscence picture, you can see close to zero middle layer cells. Why? Because they degenerate at maturity, and dehiscence occurs at maturity. So middle layer cells degenerate at maturity. Then we have the tapetal cells, which are just present around the microspore cells. These tapetum cells are so close to the microspore cells, so they are the ones providing nutrition to the microspores. Now these microspores, if you see, they are present in a tetrad structure. So they are 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now you have microspore mother cells which form from the archisporial cells. These microspore mother cells are diploid in nature. They undergo meiosis to give rise to haploid cells, which are known as your microspores. Now these microspores, once they mature, that is when dehiscence occurs and it is spread all around to pollinate a female plant or a female part of a flower. Now each pollen grain is made has a structure similar to this. Now the pollen grain externally, it consists of exine. So these thorny structures are known as are covered with exine. Exine is actually non-biodegradable material. It is made up of sporopollenin. This is not really biodegradable. So for example, if a plant has dehisced and it has released pollen grains, now there are pollen grains spread all around and the conditions are not very favorable. For example, बारिश नहीं हो रहा है, there is no nitrogenous, there is no enough nutrition in the soil, or it did not fall onto a stigma of a flower, so it doesn't really develop, but the environmental conditions also don't affect it. So the insides are protected because of the exine. Below the exine, we have intine, which is the second layer of the pollen grain, and the exine is interrupted by germ pores, these infolding regions. Now these germ pores are present to grow the emerging pollen tube. For example, if the inner cell has to grow out, it needs space to come out. So the germ pores provides the space for the pollen tube to come out of the pollen grain. We have the intine below it, which is made up of cellulose and pectin. Again, thick substances which help in protection. Now, a typical pollen grain may be smooth outside, and this is really rough per se. So it is rough to kind of get stuck in the ball of pollen. This is a leg of a honeybee. So when you must have heard that honeybees are amazing pollinators. Pollination क्या होता है? When when an insect comes and sits on a flower and उसके पैर पे ये पोलन ग्रेन्स चिपक जाते हैं इन द रीजन ऑफ बॉल ऑफ पोलन, और फिर ये जाके एक फीमेल पार्ट पे बैठता है जहाँ पे ये पोलन ग्रेन डिलीवर होता है फीमेल को. Before it has been dehisced, it divides. So it undergoes mitosis. So this is your first mitotic division. And it forms two cells. One of the cell is known as the vegetative cell and the other cell is known as the generative cell. The vegetative cell is large, as you can see, and it has lots and lots of cytoplasm and lots of vacuoles. So it is a storehouse. उसमें बहुत सारा food है. And the generative cell, if you see, is basically floating in the vegetative cell. And it has less amount of cytoplasm and it does not consist of any vacuoles. Now, what happens in certain angiosperms is इस सेल पे डिहाइसेंस हो जाता है and this can go and fall onto the stigma of a ovary of a female reproductive gland, stigma of a gynoecium. However, sometimes ये जो generative cell है it divides again, so we have second mitotic division and it gives rise to three cells, wherein these two cells which have formed from the second mitotic division, they are called male gametes. अब ये third mitotic division stage में भी second mitotic division के बाद भी डिहाइस हो सकता है या first mitotic division के बाद भी डिहाइस हो सकता है. So it can pollinate either in the 2 cell stage or in the 3 cell stage. अब एक बार वो यहाँ आ जाता है, ये स्टिग्मा जो है, दिस बेस, यहाँ पे ढेर सारा स्टिकी फ्लूइड होता है जिसमें ढेर सारा शुगर होता है. Now this sugary sticky fluid is absorbed by the pollen grain through the germ pores. Now as it is absorbed, इसका vegetative cell का protoplasm बढ़ जाता है and it starts forming a pollen tube which comes out of the germ pore. So this is one of the pollen tube which has formed due to the absorption of sticky fluid from the stigma, and then वो जाके ovule के पास approach करता है. So basically right now what we have seen is the structure of the pollen grain and the development of the male gametophyte. We can call pollen grain as the beginning stage of the male gametophyte, and this is the final stage of the male gametophyte where it can fertilize an ova. So in the next video, we will learn about the female reproductive wall of the flower, which is the gynoecium, and fertilization.